Hi everybody, my name is Debbee Radcliff and I'm glad that you're here with me today. Let me introduce myself. My background is in special education and I own my own center, holistic center, Creatigo. At Creatigo, what we do is we take holistic practices and research-based practices and creatively blend them together, or bend them together, depending on how you look at it, but blending them together to bring it out into the world, because I'm really seeing that this is important. Crystals, for example, I'm finding that more and more people are using crystals in a different way or viewing them in a different way. I'm finding that people are wearing them. So for example, I have on this pendant that was given to me that has rose quartz in it. And rose quartz is one of the more common crystals that people know about. It's about self-love and compassion. People also know about clear quartz. This is a clear quartz point that I just happened to pick up. Here in Rhode Island, we have white quartz all over the place. So I could go outside and pick up quartz, white quartz, and use that. I don't necessarily need to have this point, which is kind of why I brought this rock in, right? We often think that, and I will often call crystals rocks, we often think that we have to go into a special store and buy a special amethyst point or a crystal point. And that's not necessarily the case. We can go out into our backyard, or I mean, as a kid, I can remember I used to pick up rocks because we have granite around here too, and it would sparkle in the sunlight, and I'd bring them home to my mother, and my mother would have like piles of rocks and be like, Debbie, you know what my favorite are? My favorite are the all white ones. So to this day, I can spot an all white rock from miles away. And those white rocks are quartz. So it's interesting to me how life brings you in a journey around in a circle. I did promise that I would help you to come up with a way to know, like, what do I use the different crystals for to help me support, and I'm going to do that. So one of the ways that you can look at how crystals help you is you can look at something as simple as, this is like an image of our chakras. And I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but I'll do a brief overview. Chakras are energy centers within the body. And so each chakra rotates, or the energy within it vibrates at different energy levels, much like a rainbow. Like we are familiar with rainbows and light, we see them in the sky. The red chakra is our base chakra, and think about the rainbow and the red of the rainbow, the wavelengths of those are slower. This is about our connection to our community, our tribe. The orange one right here is our creativity center. Think about where your reproductive organs are situated, where they're located in your body. That's where your creative or your sacral chakra is. This is your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is right just above your belly button. That's where your power, your I am, who you are is seated. Moving forward in the world, your power. And then this one was always surprising to me, that my heart chakra was green, but your higher heart is pink. So when we're working with our heart and affairs of our heart, we often work with green, or we'll work with pink, which, remember, I was talking about the rose quartz earlier. Then there's your throat chakra, which is blue. Turquoise is a color that we'll use there. Native Americans will have turquoise for protection of their ability to talk as well. And then your third eye is like an indigo, so people will use purple for their third eye, or they'll use purple for the top of their head, their connection to God, or they'll use a clear a clear crystal. So, because, and think about that, as you're going from here up, the vibration is getting faster or higher in vibratory rate. So we would use crystals to help support those different parts in our being. Now, I started noticing when I was, I don't know, it was a while ago, almost 20 years ago, I was diagnosed, a doctor told me that I had anxiety and I had trouble talking to people. Doing something like this was unheard of. It would take me an hour and a half to 2 hours to get ready for something, in addition to the normal hour and a half to 2 hours it takes normal people to get ready to go somewhere. And so I was really trying to figure out a way that I could work on getting myself to the point where, you know, in addition to seeing professionals, in how I could get myself so that I could talk to other people. And so I started doing beaded jewelry. This right here is pearls and rubies. I started stringing stuff like this. And I had all this strung jewelry, and I started selling them at craft fairs. And so people would come into the booth, and I had books on the meanings of crystals. And people would say, "Oh, you have the meaning of crystal book. I need something that helps me with," and then they would say what they needed help with. And what I would say to them was, okay, look around the booth and see if there's anything that stands out to you. And if there is, then we'll look it up. And so I offer this as a way of saying to you to trust your own intuition, trust your own guidance, trust what you're guided to pick up. Because we always found that people picked up what worked for them. For example, amethyst is something that can be used, is a crystal that can be used to connect you with spirit. It can also be used to help you with your third eye and connection and seeing that. But it also helps people with addiction. So people who are going through trying to give up addictions, amethyst is one of the stones that people will suggest, right? So you've got to trust your inner guidance on what's going on. Lately, so citrine, this is a citrine point. It's a small one. I tend to use them in multiple forms, so I will get them this way. This one has, I wish I could show you guys, it's got a rainbow inside that's sparkling. So citrine is a stone that historically is known for abundance. People will put it in the abundance corner of the house to attract abundance to the house. There are also merchants who will put it in their money drawer to attract money to their cash, right? To their cash drawer, to their business. Lately, I've been using citrine to help for its yellow color because it's helping people to feel better, to see the sunny side of life. So that's what I've been using citrine for lately. Let me see. Oh, I also have some black stones. And if you notice, black isn't really on our chakra system because that's a cheat sheet. But so black stones are used usually for protection, to absorb negativity. This one right here will transmute negative energy that's coming at you, or energy that doesn't have your best. I hate to say negative and positive energy, but doesn't have your best at heart. And so this will change it into usable energy. And you could go and you could look up all of these stones. And what I found was that we can trust our inner knowing about that. Oh yeah. The clear quartz crystal, I want to talk about this one. This clear quartz has any quartz has the ability to be programmed, much like a computer. So when I bought this point, I asked it if it wanted to work with me. And I suggest you do that with all of the stones that you get. If you have the ability, this rock was picked up off of a beach here in Rhode Island, and the person who picked it up asked if it wanted to come with them, to be with me. So I suggest that you ask the rocks that you pick up and the crystals that you pick up if they want to work with you. And it's as simple as closing your eyes and saying, do you want to work with me? And then paying attention to, maybe you hear a yes in your head, maybe you feel it, maybe you see a sparkle that happens within the crystal. Just pay attention. You'll know. You'll definitely know a yes or a no. And then you can work with the crystal itself. So, having said that, we included crystals in the box for you. We included 2 today. We included Selenite, and we included Moonstone. So I have a couple Moonstone here just to give you samples of what they look like. One of the common Moonstones that you'll see in the world is a rainbow Moonstone that's white and it's got a little bit of blue in it. This is lined alongside that. This is also Moonstone. I'm finding that I'm using this a lot. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but this one's got a little bit of blue to it. Either way, this one's got a little chatoyancy to it. Chatoyancy is like the play of the light in it. So we're going to work with Moonstone and Selenite. And I included a little brief description in along with this. So Selenite, the piece that you have is smaller. This is a bigger piece so that you could see it. You can see it's got like a fiber optic piece to it. And this is very high vibratory in rate. People sometimes use it to connect with the angels or higher vibrations. People also use it to clear their aura, which is the area around them, just by moving it up their body. Gradually, it'll clear. The wonderful thing about selenite is that you don't have to clear it. It automatically clears itself. It's one of the few things that clears itself. With your moonstone, I suggest that there's a bunch of ways, because it's been traveling through the postal system to get to you. So I'm going to take this time to go over how you can clean and clear them for you to work with you. You can do a number of things. You can run it under running water. The water goes in between all of the different atoms in the stone and it cleans out that energy. Water's a great cleaner. I mean, think about it. We take a shower all the time, right? And wash ourselves, and that's cleaning our energy. That helps to clear the stone's energy. Another thing that you can do is you can bury them in the ground. Right? Think about the energy of a place. It'll help to clear it. You can put them in the sun. I suggest that for these. Amethyst is not something you should be putting out in the sun. It will bleach the amethyst out. So sun is not advisable for some stones versus other stones. This one does not do well underwater. It will start to deteriorate the selenite. There are things called selenite plates where people put their crystals on top of selenite to help clear them. There's also the ability, you can take them and you can put them in salt. So not table salt, but sea salt. You put them in sea salt. People will do that with jewelry that they've inherited from relatives, because the jewelry has the energy of the relative. I mean, think about, I wear jewelry all the time. Think about all the things that my jewelry goes through with me on a day-to-day basis. And so putting it under salt rock salt, sea salt, excuse me, not rock salt. Rock salt's for the driveway. Sea salt. Put it under sea salt. And then another thing that you can do to charge them is put them out in a full moon. So remember I said that amethyst shouldn't go out in the sunlight because it will end up getting, it will fade. Amethyst needs to go out in the moonlight to get charged. You can put it in your window, you can put it outside in your yard. If you have a big enough yard, or out on your deck, to have it recharge and let go of the energy. Remember, everything on our planet is made out of atoms and energy. And so when we're doing things like this appears to be solid, there's actually a lot of space in between all of the atoms in this crystal. So when we allow for this moonlight to come in, it's helping to clean and clear that space and recharge it. And so all of the negative energy, because think about your electrons and your protons, it's holding on to the energy. When you put it in the light, it allows it to let go and recharge. So, I mean, another thing that I like to do with my amethyst is bury it under leaves in the fall, and it really helps to get the color back into it. It'll get a really nice purple again. Not if it wasn't purple to begin with, mind you, but it helps it to recharge it. Okay, so let's get back to our crystals and what we have. So I told you that I was going to help you to figure out what crystals were for. So what I would like you to do is we're going to get in a place where we're really comfortable, and we're going to do a little meditation. And I found that with practice, I'm able to do this really easily. But it took practice of paying attention to, like I said before, when you're asking a crystal if it wants to work with you, paying attention to how it feels in your body. So just being really patient with that and paying attention. And I can't stress enough being patient and compassionate to yourself, with yourself. So what I'm going to suggest is we're going to do a brief meditation to a place that I like to take students in my class to. So if you can find a spot where you're comfortable, a chair, just finding yourself being supported by a chair or maybe laying on the floor, and just getting really comfortable. And as you're finding yourself getting comfortable, just following your breath and closing your eyes. And as you're I'm wanting to close my eyes as well. And as you follow your breath, following it into your body and into that place within yourself where everything that you have ever known or been or done is recorded. That place of inner knowing where your senses are opening quite widely. Your sense of smell, your sense of touch, and even your sense of sight and inner knowing. And we're going to take a journey to a place where crystals are, where all the crystals are. And so as you're breathing into this place within yourself, I'm wondering if you're noticing a staircase in front of you. Going over to the staircase, and we're going, as I count from 1 to 10, we're going to go to that place, or close to that place, where crystals and their meanings and their healing properties are. 10, seeing the stair and the staircase and what it's made out of. 9, going along the staircase. 8, feeling a railing under your hand. 6, knowing that when we get to this place, you're going to be able to conceive and perceive it very easily. 5, continuing down. 4, Breathing and relaxing. 3, knowing that you can do this because it's really just that easy. 2, starting to see the space you're going into. 1, stepping out into this space. And you may discover that this place is a place that you are familiar with. It's a place that you've been to before, and it's a place that's very, very comfortable to you. And as you're in this place, I want you to notice what's around you. Are there other beings there with you to support you for your highest good on this journey? Maybe there's ancestors, or maybe it's just the place itself that's supporting you. Maybe it's a place that you traveled to as a childhood, or maybe it's a place that you daydreamed about as a child. Whatever presents itself is perfect. And so just take a moment and take in this area, noticing the way the wind is, noticing the smells, allowing them to bring you even deeper into this experience. I'm going to pause for a moment or two and just allow you to fully enjoy what's going on around you. And then, when you're ready, I wonder if you notice that there's a path which is going to lead us to an archway. And when we walk through the archway, we're going to go into a place that helps us to know what different crystals are for. And in this place, we're going to meet someone who's going to help us, a guide, if you will, to know what different crystals are for. Okay. I'm going to count from 4 to 1, and when I get to 1, we'll be going through the arch. Are you ready? 4, seeing your feet on the path. 3, walking along the path and knowing, 2, that when you go through the arch, 1, you are in the presence of a place that will help you to understand what crystals are used for. Just looking around and seeing if there is a guide or a person or a place or something in here. It could be a light or a mythic being. And when you see that person or place, it's going to act a little bit differently. It could be a light. And when you see it, go up to it and ask, are you my guide to help me with understanding what different crystals are for? And when they say yes, what we're going to do is we're going to reach for our selenite, which is in front of us. And we're going to put the selenite in our left hand, and we're going to imagine that the selenite is casting a beam of light from the selenite onto the floor. And we're going to walk into that beam of light, and as we're sitting here, we're going to pay attention to what the selenite is doing. Notice how it's interacting with your body. Noticing, is there any color to the selenite in addition to the white that's in your hand? Where are you feeling it in your body? I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it in my head, in my third eye, which to me is saying that it's helping me clear my third eye in my head. And then, when you're ready, because you can come back and do this at any time, reach over and pick up the Moonstone and feel the Moonstone. Imagine it casting a light either on the floor or a light that travels up your left arm and into your body. Where are you feeling the Moonstone? That's interesting. I'm feeling the Moonstone here today. Today, the Moonstone is helping me with my emotions and helping me to figure out what's going on with my emotions as I travel through the world today. And helping me to be present with you all today. It's helping me through the ups and downs of today and life today. Thanking the Moonstone and the Selenite. These are just suggestions. You may feel different things in your body, and your intuition may be telling you different things, and that's perfect. These are just what I'm getting for today from the Moonstone. And I want to honor what you're feeling. Travel, you can put it in your pocket as you're going through life. Okay, so now we're going to be coming back into the room, thanking the Moonstone, thanking our guide for helping us. 6, knowing that when I get to 1, you'll be back in the room fully. 5, knowing that everything you've learned today is right and perfect for you. 4, knowing that there are no wrong answers, only answers that are working with you and helping you and supporting you. 3, starting to feel your body in whatever space you're in being supported. 2, knowing that you'll be able to go back to the space for information on other crystals. 1, starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes and coming back into the room. I hope this has been helpful. I find that as I'm working with my guide on a day-to-day basis, I don't have to travel to my space, which happens to be a crystal cave. I don't have to travel to it. Actually, I get instant messages from my guides. And I encourage you to continue to talk with the crystals. They're live and well-beings, although we don't think of it that way, they are. So please enjoy this. This is something that, and you don't have to do something as fancy as a meditation and talking with your guides. Remember what I learned when I was working in craft shows with people who came into my booth. You have your intuition, and your intuition is going to help you find the stone that's right for you. So please follow that intuition. It doesn't have to be complicated. Until later, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.